Hey everybody, Andre here, and today I want to talk about diatonic chords. Diatonic chords. What is that? What does that mean? Well, basically, diatonic means around the tonic. And what does tonic mean? The first tone in the scale. Okay? So, in tonal music, major, minor scales, even outside of tonal music, I mean, you still have this concept. You can apply to this concept to a wide range of things, but we're going to just talk about tonal music. In a major scale, let's just use C major for a sec because that's the easiest. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. In tonal music, we use a system of harmony based around thirds, and that system of harmony, it's called tertian harmony. Okay, tertian harmony means based on thirds. So what you can do here is you can stack thirds on each of these chords or each of these notes, and you end up with the diatonic set. Diatonic set. These are the naturally occurring chords in a major key. We can do the same thing for minor. We can do the same thing for whatever, okay? But for now, we're just sticking with major. So what are the qualities of these chords? Well, C, E, G, that's a major chord, and that's a 1. And we use Roman numerals for this because it's really convenient. That tells you that it's the first scale degree, and because it's capital, that means it's major. That's the quality. The next one, Dfa, is a minor chord. So we use the Roman numeral for 2 because it's the second scale degree, and it's a lowercase because it is a minor chord. EGB is lowercase 3 because it's the third scale degree, minor. FAC is a 4. Now notice that this one is a capital 4 because it's an F chord, which is the fourth scale degree, but it's major. It's a major chord. Same thing for 5, GBD. 6 is minor, ACE. And then the last one is diminished. 7 diminished, BDF. It actually doesn't matter what key you're in, right? C major, whatever. We can do A major, which is 3 sharps. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. Let's bump these two down the octave. F sharp and G sharp. We can stack thirds. C sharp E, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, A, G sharp, B, A, C sharp, B, D. Still the same. A, C sharp, E, that's major. B, D, F sharp, that's minor. C sharp, E, G sharp, that's minor. D, F sharp, A, that's major. So on and so forth. The pattern will always be the same. So that's the diatonic set for major. And it's cool because you can add a 7th to it, and it doesn't change much. If you add the 7th, you have 1 major 7, 2 minor 7, 3 minor 7, 4 major 7. 5 is kind of interesting. 5 is a dominant 7 chord, major, minor 7. 6 is minor 7. And 7 is half diminished 7, meaning that there's a diminished triad but a minor 7th on top. So that's the diatonic set for major. Now what about minor? Well, there's a couple of different minor scales, right? There's 3 different kinds of minor scales. Let's just start with D minor because that's kind of sits nice and low here. D, E, F, G, A, B flat, and C. This is a natural minor scale, right? It's the same exact scale as the major, but relative, right? It's F major, but it's down a third. So what do we have? D, F, A, B flat, C, B flat, D, E, like this. Cool. So what do we end up with? DFA, that's a minor chord, 1. E, G, B flat, that's a diminished chord, 2, diminished. 3 is FAC, that's major chord. That is a minor chord. Minor 4, minor 5, major 6, and major 7. So that's the natural minor. Okay, so that's the diatonic set in natural minor. Now what happens when you have harmonic minor is you raise the 7th scale degree. So C sharp. Right, C sharp, C sharp, C sharp. Only 3 chords are affected. So in harmonic minor, this chord becomes 3 augmented. That one becomes a major 5, which is kind of the thing we expect. And that one becomes a 7 diminished. Okay? And in melodic minor, we raise the 6th scale degree. So the 6th scale degree in D is B, so it becomes B natural. So in melodic minor, it's 2 minor. 4 is major 4, and 6 is actually diminished, which is kind of funky. So yeah, as you can see, the diatonic set in minor is a little bit more complicated because there's 3 different scales you're dealing with. But in major, it's reliably the same. Okay. So there you have it, folks. That's the diatonic set, naturally occurring based on tertian harmony and the scales themselves. So I hope that's useful for you. You know, how you can use this in life is that, you know, you can kind of anticipate chords, right? If you are in like a major key or something, let's say we're in the key of G, right? And we just have a chord that's like this. I don't know. All you need to do is say, all right, what are these notes? All right, we got A, E, C, A. Can I stack them in thirds somehow? Well, I can take the C and bring it down here. And instead of going, all right, A to C, that's a minor third. C to E, that's a major third. Okay, minor, then major. All right, that's a minor chord. Cool. What you can do is actually say, all right, I've now made my root position chord. What's the root? A. All right, what's A in the key of G? 2. All right, it's minor. Easy, right? Just takes a little bit of memorization, a little bit of getting comfortable, and you can quickly be able to identify chords as they lie in a key. It's very convenient and very nice to be able to do. So yeah, the last thing I'll leave for you is just the names of the stuff, so it's good to be informed about what things are called. So here's the diatonic set in major again. And each of these has a name, has a scale degree. Because it can be confusing if you start just throwing numbers around. It's like a million numbers and then you just can't keep it all straight in your head. So each of these has a name. So 1 is called the tonic. 2 is called the supertonic. Super meaning above the tonic or after the tonic, right? 3 is the mediant because it's halfway between the tonic and the second most important chord, which is the 5. The 4 is the subdominant because it's below the dominant. And then this one is called the submediant because it's the midpoint, halfway between the tonic and the subdominant. Okay, that's where that comes from. And then 7 diminished is called the leading tone because what does that thing want to do? It wants to lead back to tonic. So there you go. Those are the names of all the diatonic chords. There's one extra one in minor. Note, if you remember, there was like that major 7. That's called the subtonic. This one's special in minor. It does certain things, especially in classical music. It really likes to do a certain thing, which is go to the major 3. But the subtonic is called the subtonic because it's a whole step below the tonic rather than a half step like the leading tone is. Okay? And then when in minor it switches to the 7 diminished, then it goes back to being called the leading tone. So there you have it, folks. That's the diatonic set in major and minor. Really not that complicated. It just takes a little bit of time to practice and yeah, memorize it really. But once you have it under your belt, I promise you, it's such a useful thing just to be able to know these chords. You can really look at a piece of music and be able to unpack it very quickly, and that just helps in general. You know, depending on what you're doing with your musical life, it can really help you. So, if this was useful for you, please consider hitting that like button really helps with the YouTube algorithm as I try to grow this channel. And if you want to see more content, I've got a bunch of stuff on this channel, a bunch of random things. So do hit the subscribe button and leave a comment below if you want me to talk about any other music theory concept. I hope you have a great rest of your day.